Hey, welcome to another edition of Morris County Mayhem. Today we're at the home of Bill and Corey Phillips. We're going to talk a little bit about snowshoeing today. We had a big storm last night, and today I'm standing here with Morris County action figure Bill Phillips and Morris County action figure the Mad Hatter. So maybe you guys could talk a little bit about snowshoeing and the origins. I had heard that snowshoeing had started right here in Denville. Back in the day, the Lenni and Lenape Indians had to run away from the Jersey Devils, so they made these contraptions that were made out of like animal bones, tennis rackets. Yeah, so they had to run across Cedar Lake. But that's the way I heard it started. Maybe you could give me a little more of an update on what today's technology looks like and how you dress today, or something.
Okay, contrary to Director Ron's information, we're not so sure that the Lenape Indians actually did invent snowshoeing. History shows that not surprisingly, the Inuits invented snowshoes, and the further
Eskimo
north you
for
go,
the uneducated,
or non-politically correct. The further you go north, the simpler the snowshoes got. The Inuits had big triangular snowshoes or circular ones that were very large in surface area to reflect their need to travel over large fluffy snow. All the tribes had different shapes and sizes depending on where they were. Indians that were in the forested areas, like the Iroquois, had smaller snowshoes because they had to dodge trees, twigs, brush, and things like that.
What about the Lenape Indian?
They would have been a forested one, so they'd have a smaller snowshoe.
I see.
They would have probably a bear paw type of snowshoe that's the glorified tennis racket shape and size. Now, the Indians, of course, didn't have modern technology, so they would steam tree limbs and bend them to shape and then lace them with rawhide in a woven pattern to give them flotation on top of the snow. Now, contrary to what most people might think, snowshoes don't allow you to float on top of the snow. You do sink in. But if you're in 2-foot deep snow, instead of sinking in up to your knees or your thighs, you would only be sinking in 8 to 12 inches. Modern snowshoes, now we have Jay's exhibiting his.
we use my civilian name, man.
The Mad Hatter. Tubular metal framing for lightweight and rigidity, and then a neoprene flotation area. The neoprene doesn't stretch like rawhide does. It doesn't rot. It's fairly puncture resistant. And then on the flip side of it, we have basically a crampon for climbing or descending safely, and harder, crustier snow, it'll lock into it better. And then you see a clamp on the back here too. There's still a lot of purists out there that think the wooden version is the way to go. And then there's people like Jay and I who can't be bothered with the Mad Hatter and I who can't be bothered with the maintenance. So we go with the tubular steel or tubular aluminum and neoprene cover. In addition to that, we'll go into a little bit of clothing. You can see I look a little silly here, but these are gaiters. They go over your shoes. They keep snow out of the top of your shoe. They allow you to keep snow from going down your pants, and they keep your feet dry, basically.
Can you keep a bottle of vodka down there?
You could keep a bottle of vodka down there because they're not insulating at all. You'll also notice that the Mad Hatter and I are dressed in multiple layers. So you'll see I have an outer jacket here, a fleece vest underneath. I then have a wicking shirt underneath that, and even under that I have another base layer wicking shirt.
Back up to the wicking layer a minute, because when you're out there, I mean, it's cold, but you're going to sweat. You're exerting yourself. This is exercise. What the wicking layer does is, and this is like for any winter sport like skiing, or we mountain bike in the winter, if you're sweating and then you stop and you start to get cold, you'll get hypothermia quick. The wicking layer pulls the sweat away from the skin. Also, the hat, you can't be the Mad Hatter without your hat. So I got something for my ears, and a hat keeps the warmth in on top.
For those of us who are follically challenged, I use just a fleece hat. And it's very important that if you do want to wear natural fibers, cotton, wool, just don't have them against your skin because they'll absorb moisture, and then it'll be very cold when the wet fabric is against your skin. We're going to walk up to the end of the road. We've got a nice wilderness area up there, and we'll give you some tips on what not to do. Okay, here we are. We're at the southern entrance of Jonathan's Woods at the end of Hillcrest Drive in Denville, and we're going to get ready to gear up. Now, snowshoes do have a right and a left, or most of them, and luckily for me, mine are labeled, so I know that they're right and left, so I laid them out on the ground. And we have self-adjusting bindings on these snowshoes, so they're really easy to put on. You open up the toe, you slide your foot in. There's a piece that goes around the back of your foot, and then all you do is tighten up these cords. That snugs your foot right in. You can see that I can lift my my foot up. This is quite similar to a cross-country ski binding where you rotate around your toe. Now we're just going to do the same with the left. Slide your foot in. Put the bindings around the back, pull back. Now you can see these also have a snap on them. That's just to take the excess amount out so they're not flopping around. So then you just snap them around the back of your foot. Okay, you can see that basically we're just walking. There's not a lot of special technique. You just got to keep your feet a little bit wider apart so that you don't step on the sides of your snowshoes. And then the other thing you want to do is, if you're using trekking poles, you want to loop your hand in this loop correctly. So what I do is I go up from underneath, and then I just pull my hand down on the top of it. That gives me good control. If I lose my pole, it's just going to come right back up to my hand as soon as I plant it again. So it's just like holding on your cross-country ski pole, same technique. And then you don't really have to grip the whole pole very much. You can grip it with just a first finger very loosely, and then you're on your way.
So, as Bill said before, these don't float across the snow, they actually sink in. But the advantage to having these is you'll notice like the snow is not closing in around you, so you can lift your foot up and down easy. Take a step, Bill, and show them.
Holy shit! Bear! 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 Bear!
We hope you learned how to have a good time in the snow today. This is a great way to get out in the winter and get some fresh air and have a little bit of fun. Of course, shoveling snow is always a great way to get out in the winter, but it's not as much fun as this. Just about any state park is free to go do this at. You just got to get there. So we hope to see you out on the trail.
All right, thanks for joining us for our Bald Hill Winter episode. I want to say thanks to the Mad Hatter for his time today, and Action Figure Bill. Thanks, guys. Have a great snowshoe hike.
Well, we're going to get on the trail before we freeze to death.
Great. Thanks, guys. Enjoy.